first of all, start with the polls. What do you think of where you guys were picked?
No, you don't win games in this time. The teams that are picked to win the conference, those are guys that's consistently played week in and week out. I mean, that's a tribute to all the work and things that they put in. That's called a body of work, and they've been consistently putting in great work and doing great things, and so that's not a surprise.
Some of the one of the biggest talking points from this conference is just the unbalanced nature of the schedule. You don't play every team every year. What do you think of the rotation and how you don't have to play every team every year?
Well, it is what it is with this conference, and the way it's designed. I don't know the matrix and how all that stuff works and how they configure all that. The fact that you get a chance to continue to play your rivals week in and week out, I think that's something that's really good. So.
Expansion and continued expansion. You think that's something that's good for the league?
Well, I think we have arguably one of the best conferences in the country. Okay, and so by adding Idaho State to it, I was at Boise State, with Idaho, and Idaho is a really good football team, and so having an addition to that, I think that's something that's great. I don't know in terms of how they want to configure that, whether it's north, south, east, or west, or however they want to break it down. I'm not adverse to that. My only thing that I would have is this: is that as long as we're able to stay and play our rivals, then I think that'll be just fine.
Idaho specifically, what do you think they'll add just from the competitive standpoint on the field to the league?
Well, obviously they're going to bring a little bit more of an edge because they're playing guys. Most of the players are already FBS, okay, and so they're going to have a high quality or more of those kind of FBS type players. So that's the one thing that they're going to bring, and then it's going to be competitive. I mean, it's already competitive, but I think it's going to make it even more competitive when they arrive.
The graduate transfer rule. You've seen some marquee players from this league now move on to other schools. I know you guys don't really have a transfer as far as influx transfers, but what do you think of just the nature of the rule and stealing some of the premier players in this conference?
Well, I think it's obviously it's a surprise that the FBS got to come down a level to grab a player, but I'm with the kid. If a kid says he's graduated and he's fulfilled his obligation to that university, then as much as I wouldn't want to lose a kid because of that, if he's fulfilled his obligation, and he wants to leave and try something else, then that's on him.
Full cost of attendance. How does that fit into some of the challenges you guys have? And is it something that Davis has explored at all to try to stay competitive recruiting?
Well, we know that it's something that always comes up, but I think the biggest thing is we got a great product that we really focus on, and whether it's the cost of attendance, I mean everything is, if you're on scholarship, you get it paid for, and so you're not things aren't coming out of pocket anyway, and so I don't really get too involved in that. But I mean, we're fortunate to be able to recruit kids that have Mountain West offers or whatever it is, and that hasn't been an issue for us, and so it shouldn't be.
I was just teasing Ernest, this league has changed so much in the coaching aspect of it that all of a sudden now you guys are some of the more veteran coaches in the league just because there's been so many new guys. What do you think of just some of the new guys in the league and what sort of dynamic do you think that brings to?
I still consider myself one of the young guys, in the conference,
compared to
but I think the new addition, with Jeff and obviously with DeMero, I think it's going to be good. You're talking about guys that are sharp guys and they understand it. DeMero's been in this conference. He knows what it's all about. He played at UC Davis, and so he has a great sense of what this conference is all about. He knows the ins and the outs. Jeff he's going to come in and do an extraordinary job, and so I think it's a great addition to it.
Yep. First, let's start with this event. You get to represent your school, so just coming here, what has this been like just the short time you've been here? What do you think of just the whole thing?
I think it's really cool. It's a great honor, honestly. And then the guys that have come in the past to represent our team have been really good guys and have really good seasons and really good players. So, it's definitely something to live up to. But overall, I'm just really grateful to be here and really happy to represent my team.
Davis, has been an interesting addition to the league. I know you guys have such a unique spot just with your academic requirements and things you can do in recruiting. Good year under Coach Gould in year one, but then you guys have had your struggles the last couple of years. Where do you think you guys fit into the league, and what's it been like playing with the Big Sky these last couple of years?
The Big Sky has been incredibly fun to play in. I mean, it's just every game's very competitive. I mean, the best example is obviously last year with Southern Utah, right. Portland State. You know, Portland State coming off a 2-9 season comes out and beats Washington State. So, you know, in that regard, it's really fun for us as a program to come out and be in such a competitive conference, and you know, we have no doubt in our minds as a team that, you know, we'll be able to turn things around and really get things going, especially with our location right in the heart of Sacramento. And you know, the academic part of the question and the academic part of our school, we really take pride in that as well. You know, we like that we go to one of the top institutions in the nation, and you know.
What do you study?
Community and regional development.
Okay, so what do you hope to do with that?
I'm actually really interested in computer software.
Cool.
So the whole San Fran, Silicon Valley scene right now.
We're so competitive for the first half of the season, but just couldn't quite break through. But then all the injuries started to mount up. Just the way that last season started with just several close losses in a row. How much influence did that play on how things finish out for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I want to say that didn't have an impact on us, but it definitely did, because you know, what it really comes down to at the end of the day is just consistency. I mean, if you can compete with a team to the fourth quarter and lose in the fourth quarter, I mean, they're definitely they deserve the win. But what it comes down to is being able to finish on our end. Yeah, it shows that we're competitive, but you know, that's no excuse to give us a pat on the back. We need to learn how to finish, and that's what we're going to do this year.
This off season what was your guys' mentality like, and how much progress you think you guys made?
Yeah, it definitely lit a fire under everyone. I mean, when you go through a season like that, everyone's just more willing to work. Everyone's more willing to watch film, you know, and that helps. That helps a lot. And yeah, I mean, we've changed a lot of things, and we put in a lot of extra work, and that's as simple as I can put it.
One thing I've talked to extensively with Coach Gould is just the importance of depth and how you guys have seen that play out on both sides. Do you feel like you've just, in a weird sort of way, with the injuries, you've been able to cultivate some depth because you have had some young guys playing?
Yeah, we definitely got some young guys in there to get some game experience, and you know, that was a huge emphasis this offseason too, was to ensure that our I mean, everyone's competing for a starting spot right now, but a huge emphasis was to make sure that everyone's ready to go in when their number's called, because that's what absolutely killed us last year. We felt like we had a really strong 22, and then when starters started to fall or get hurt, you know, that's when we started to lose some, you know, playmaking ability.
The scheme you guys run defensively, everyone in the league always talks about how sound you guys are, how you always get lined up right. So how important is experience in playing in that scheme, just because you do have to have seen a lot of things and get lined up right all the time?
Yeah, no, that's a huge part of it as well. We had a really complicated scheme that really benefited the guys that understood it well and benefited us in a lot of different ways. And that's where it come into play, where it hurt us when the younger guys sometimes had to come step in a complicated playbook. But you know, that's something we're really working on this off season, and you know, playing less like robots and so concerned with what we have to do as far as assignment, and really just allowing our guys to play. And we've made specific changes to allow that to happen.
What do you think the prospects are for you guys this season?
You know, there was an article that came out that said that we were poised to be one team that was to surprise the conference, but you know, as a team, honestly, we don't focus on that. regardless of what everyone says we're supposed to do, it doesn't matter. We're going to come out and play hard, and we have our personal goals set as a team, and we're going to go out and accomplish it.
What will be the key for you guys to be able to accomplish those goals this fall?
A huge key for us is consistency again. Going back to consistency. Shaking off a losing season and coming out with confidence and knowing that we have the ability to beat anyone in this conference.